Okay guys, welcome back to my channel, and today is very important. We are going to do something very huge today, and you people will love it. Today we are going to build an application. Which application is a pharmacy application. I'm going to teach you how to build a pharmacy application. Yes, that pharmacy application will help you. I want to help you if you have an intention to open a pharmacy. You can use it directly inside your pharmacy. But if you want also some touch up, you want some touch up to the code, if I can use that term, you can drop a message inside the comment, and we will touch the code for you and make it more nice. But we just teach you inside this tutorial the basics of the code. Very basics, they're very important. You know that in the pharmacy you need a software who can help us to manage our stock and also to sell. So that is what we are going to build. We won't show you all the code, but we just show you the important part of the code so that you can understand how it works. So right now you can see on the screen that the technology we are going to use. We are going to use what? Front-end technology, HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. And the backend you just having a JavaScript. And for the database, it will just be the firebase. Why firebase? But firebase for me, I think that is quite simple and it fits the application I'm going to build, because we are not going to use any local database. We are going to use a cloud, and for the cloud, it's not bad. It's easy and it's fast forward. It's true that for a pharmacy application, you will need another technology, maybe SQL for the local database. But for me, I think that it's handsome to have your database online, so that from anywhere you can be, you can just have access to your data, even with your phone or any devices you having on you. So that is the objective for using the Firebase cloud. So right after that, let me just show you what you are going to do next. That is it. We are going to do what our first page, which will be the register page, and the register page is the first page you are going to learn, because it's a new app. So as you know that is a new app, you are going to use a register page for it. So when you come for the first time on the app, you have to register yourself. You have to provide your full name, your email, your username, and your password. So for that, you can see that we are having a prototype here that we are going to use. So that is it. And the next one will also be, the second page will be a login page, and that login loading page will be having the same process. We can see that we're having our HTML section, we have the CSS, the JavaScript section, and the Firebase, and we're having our prototype here. So that is it, and this is basically what we are going to build inside our login page. We'll be having here our logo, which will be the farm tech, and here we'll be having our administrator user. The administrator user, we'll go back to it later, but the administrator user will use the administrator to go straight to another section of the app. That section which will help him to manage the stock, to manage the drug, and have all the details he needs to manage the pharmacy. So that section is specially for administrator, but the section for workers, for the staff, is different than the one done for the administrator, if you can get me. So right after that, we are going to do the same thing. We are going to do what we are going now to do our third page. The third page will be the administrator page, because as you are the new administrator, you have to register yourself and give a code for it. So that will be the form for the registration of the administrator. So that is it. We are having our prototype here, so you can see actually what we are going to build. Then we use the same process. We just use our HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and the Firebase. So now we are going to the next one. The next one will be the fourth page will be the admin login. So you know that after register the administrator, you have to log in. So that will be what we are going to build. You can see a prototype here, and we have the administrator username, you have the administrator password, and you have the submit button. So after register it, we have to go to the admin login so that we can enter our data and log into the section. So right after that, what we are going to do, the next thing we are going to build will be our fifth page, which will be the admin section. So you can see basically how our admin section look like here. So we are not going to build all the functionality of the admin section, but we are going what we are just going to build only basics functionality for the admin section. So we just having here our cell section, which we just have her to help us to manage our job. So here we can insert our job, we can update it, we can select if you want to get a detail of a particular job. You can tap the name here and just give you the detail of the job. We update it, we insert the new job, and we delete new job from the data from our cloud service, as we are going to use it like a database. So that is basically what we are going to do now. So the next thing we are going to do now, which will be the last one, it will be the app himself. You can see that I didn't take too much time to style it very well so that it will be more nice, but for the purpose it is okay, we can use it. And here you can see at the top you have the pharmacy name, you have the date, you have the tab, you have the item name, the item quantity, the item price, and you have also our total. Here you have our print button. So you can see at the top also that we have our login and you have the user. So if you can see here, if there's no name here, it means like no one has logged in. So what you are going to do is, like, anytime anybody log in, his name will appear at the top with the login icon, the user icon at the left side of it. So that is basically what you are going to do. So that's all. So I hope that you people will focus and learn, and if you have any challenges, you can drop it inside the comment. And also the code also will be available inside the comment section, and you can get it from my website, which is badescode.com. So you can get it from there, and that is it. So guys, that will be all, and let's go to our coding. Okay guys, so that is what we are going to build. Now we can see that we have a form which has our full name, email, username, password, sign up, and already have an account. So that is what we are going to do today. So to do that, let's go to our Visual Studio. So we have our one folder already inside, which is for farm software. So inside our folder, we just quickly go and set our log, our register. We just put in register.html. So that is it. And the next thing we are going to put also, we are going to put our style .css. So that is the file we are going to open, we are going to use. Basically now we are going to use our register HTML and our CSS. So for we go straight to our HTML and we set the environment, and that is it. So inside the title, we just change the title to register, so it will be register. So right after the register, we'll be setting our link, we set a link to our CSS folder file. So it will be we put style sheet, and we'll be having which will be style.css. So that is it. So let's see if it's working. Let's close this one first. So see if it's working. We have to check to avoid. Okay, it is working. So now what we are going to do now, straightforward, we are going now to set our environment. We are going to set the various, you see that we have 1 2 3 4 bars, input bars. So we are going to set them. So what we are going to do straight, we are going to do what, we get the section, we put section on class register. So inside that section we'll be having a div, the div class register on container. So right after that, what we are going to do, we are going inside our register container, we'll be putting our inputs. So the inputs will be having a type test. So and we'll be putting a placeholder which will be having we'll be putting full name, and right after we'll be giving an ID. That ID will be having name, input. So that is it. So I think the next one we just copy and paste and change and make some changes to it. So we do it 1, 2, and we'll be adding another one which will be 4. So basically that is it, and we are going to make some few changes to it. So here we'll be changing it to email. It will be email, sorry. Here it will be also email input. And the next one will be having our username. So here will be user. We'll be putting this user here, and we'll be having our user input. So right after that we'll be having our password. So we change the type to password because we don't want anybody to see what we are typing inside our password input field. So we are going to put password so that we hide what we are typing there, and we'll be giving for the placeholder password. So password will be given to him, and we'll be also giving a pass int. So that pass will be having pass int, and we'll be having a button. We set a button tag, so it will be a button with a type yes, and we'll be giving an ID we'll be giving an ID equal to sub and we close it, and we'll be giving a sign up, and right after that, what are we going to do? We are going to put a architect which will be having our login HTML page, with a ID. That ID will be given already, and we close our tag, and we'll be putting inside already have an account. So that is it, guys, and we don't have our login HTML page yet, but we are going to create it. So let me just create it. So I'll just put login .html. So that is it, and let me close it and see if we are. So that is it. So we are having our login, and next one we have finished with our section. So let's check what we have. So let's just run our server and see. So that is it, guys. You can see that the way our elements are aligned, so you can see it's not looking nice. So we are going to apply a CSS to it so that it will look nice, and it will look like what we want, as what I showed you previously. So that is it, and let's go straight to our HTML CSS side. And our CSS side, we will be having first of all, instead that we are going to import some font. So for that, we will go import some font from Google font. So to do that, let's go straight to our, we can just look here and put Google, and we just put Google font, and we'll be having Josephine Sans, and we'll be having a Rubik. So that are the two fonts we are going to use. So we are waiting that it should log. So let me call. Okay, so why is he showing me? So that is it. So we have removed the one we have used before. So now we are going to get the font. You just type here Josephine Sons, and we are having it already here. So we are just going to take our Josephine Sons. So we take the 300 one. Okay, I'm having one here. So we have our Josephine Sons, and we are going to add, let me check, and we are going to add another one, which will be the Rubik. So we go back and we just tap here Rubik, and we are on it. So our Rubik will be taking let's take the 300 too. So we take the Rubik 300 too. So we just come here, we come to our imports, and we just copy here. We just highlight it and copy it from here. So copy. So straight we go back to our code and we paste it inside our CSS file. So 1 minute, let me see. Okay, so that is it for starting. So we have our two fonts, which is the Josephine Sons, and we have which is the Josephine Sons, and we are having also our Rubik. So I'm going to make some few changes here. I'm just going to remove the Italy from it, because I'm not sure that we need it. So I'll remove it, and here too I'm going to apply the same thing. I'll just use the Rubik straight. I won't use any weights. So that is it. I think that now we are on the same page and it look nice. So let's go. So the next thing we are going to do now, we are going to put our padding to 0, and we are going also to give a margin 0, and a box sizing we are going to give border box, and the last one, text decoration, we are not going to have any text decoration, so you just put none inside. So right after that, now we are going to set our login, our admin register, our register comment. So we are going to put here right after this one a register comment. So it will be, as I always advise you, it's very important to comment your code. It will make life more easier to the next person coming to refactor your code. So you'll be having register section. So that is it. So right after that, what are we going to do? We are going to put dot register, and we are going to give a display flex, and align item center, and we just give a justify content center, and high 100 VH. So that is it. And the next thing we are going to give to, we are going to put a register container, and that register container too will be given a display flex, and we'll be giving the flex direction colon, and we'll be giving also align item center. So that is it. And let's see how it look like. So let's close this one, and so that is the way it look like actually. So we are on the way. Soon it will look like the way we want it, and that is it. So let's go back again and continue working on the CSS. So we'll be having, now we are going to grab our button. So we'll be giving our sub, we will be taking our button btn, and from there you'll be giving a margin which will be 10 ps between, and right after that we'll be giving a padding which will be 10 ps, and we'll be giving a 30 ps. I'm not wasting too much on the CSS because it's not the topic of our tutorial, and I want to go very fast so that the tutorial won't be long. So I'm very sorry if you cannot follow quickly, but I have to do it like that because the important section is how to work about the functionality. So that is it. So I will just go fast about the CSS. So we will be giving a color, a border color, which will be green. As you can notice that our inputs have the border of the input are green. So yeah, you'll be giving a border color green, and we'll be giving a border radius too, which will be 5 ps. So that is it. So now we can see how it look like. So we can see, oh sorry, our button, not our input, our button border is green. So you can see the way it look like perfectly the way we want it, and we will continue. So we are going now to tackle our all regime section. So we'll be taking our already section, and we'll be giving a color red, and you'll be giving also a text decoration which will be underline. So that is it. So you can see that is. So now we are going to tackle now our input side. So let's go. Okay, now we are tackling our input. So we just take our input, and inside our input we will be having our padding. The padding will be 10 ps and 40 ps. So right after that we'll be having a margin. We'll be giving a margin to it. The margin will be having 5 ps, and we'll be having a border. We'll be having a border here. The border will be 2 ps solid, and be giving a grain to it. So that is it. And the next one we are going to do also is the border, a border radius. We're going to give a border radius of 5 ps to it. So guys, we have finished, I think, with our front end. So let's see how it look like. That is it, guys. I think that we have done with it, and it's looking like nice. And I think it's the same thing like what we are having here. Sorry, we have here. So it's the same thing. You see that I'm changing the okay. So the only difference is, like, you can see that the username and are uppercase. So I'm going to work on it quickly, and that is it. Let's go back to our code. You come here. I think the user here is supposed to be uppercase, and the P2 be uppercase. So that is, guys, we can finish with our front end. Now we are going to the functionality. So that what we are going to do basically now is, like, we are going to set the data inside our various how can I say, our input, and that those data will be taken from that input and stored inside the database, which is our cloud. So it's what we are going to do now. So straightforward, we'll be going to go back to our code. So here we just set our JavaScript section, but for that one, before to do that, we have to go to we have to go to Firebase. We go to Firebase, and from there we set our module, our script type module. So first of all, we are going to create our database. So it's what we are going to do. So guys, you can see that now we are in our database website. which is firebase.google.com. So you just click start, and we go to it's loading. So we are now in the page. So we start the project. We just click add project. You give your project name. For my project name, I'll just put farm. Yes, I'll put farm tech. So that is it. And I'll put farm tech. I think that is okay. And the next process is there is this one. No, we don't need this one. So you create a project. So the project is creating, so you wait for a moment. So now you press continue, and it will take us straight to our database, and we will be adding here our web app. So the web app, will be giving a name to it. So I can just give any name. So any name, I'll just put farm data database. That is it. And I'll just press register app. So you can see here that it gives us a folder. So that is it. So let's see. So that is it. So right after that, we go back to we continue to our console, and inside our console, you will go to our project overview, project setting. So we just get to our project setting, and inside our project setting, let's see. You will see that we are having the same configuration like before, but here we click our CDN here, and the CDN we just copy. We will copy all the module. We will copy it, and we go back to our HTML. So we just put it here. We just 1 minute. Control V. So that is it. So we have set our JavaScript type module configuration inside our HTML page, our HTML page. So now we are going to import some function. So right after copying it, what we need some function. Notice that if you don't paste the configuration inside the script type module, it won't work. So that is it. And the next thing we are going to do, which is very important, we are going to import some function. So we import some function. We are going to use those functions inside our code. So we'll be importing get data base, and the next one will be the reference, and we'll be after the reference we'll be having the set. So sorry, what have I done? Sorry guys, let's go back, get database, and right after that we'll be having our reference and set, and after the set we'll be having the child, and we'll be having, I think for this one is all, because I'm not sure that we are going to use more function. Let me see. And we are going to get all this function from we will copy this link here. We are going to copy it. We copy this link and we paste it here. So we are going to get all this function from Firebase. So that is it. Now after copying it, we are going to change the Firebase, the app to database. So that is it. Just change the app to database, and okay, and we are going to add more function, another function, we get putting a get function to it. So next thing we are going to do what now? We are going to put our references. So for the references, we just put here, we comment it and put references there. So for the references, it will be, let's say, the references. So that is it. And inside the references, you are going to set our cons. So I will just make it fast and show you how I does it. So that is it, guys. So you can see that we can set our variables, const name, document get by element by ID, name imp. You can remember that at the top here we are having our input, which we have given an ID name imp to it to grab the value inside that in that input. So you are fetching that value to the const name. We have done the same thing to const email too. That is it. And also the same to user name, and we are giving pass. It's supposed to be password. So we have give pass to it, so it will be taking the value from our pass int input. So the same thing with the submit. The submit, when we click on it, it will affect the function. It will apply the function to whatever is our input. So that is it. So right after that, we are going to our validation section. So we just put here validation. So we can put here validation, and we just put validation in the middle. So inside our validation, we'll be setting a function. The name will be empty or space. So that function basically will check inside our input either if it's null or if the what inside the input is different than null. So that function will just return null or different than null. So that is it. So I'm going to fetch that function, and you understand what is the use of that function soon. So we just put empty or space, and now we'll be putting SR, and that function will be returning. That function will be having parameter as str, and that function will be return that str strictly equal to null, and or not end or that str will be having a match method, which will be having some regular expression inside. So we will talk about the regular expression later. So you just quickly put it on place. So we'll be putting a regular expression inside. So that regular expression will be putting like this, and now we'll be having this one and the sign dollars. I won't talk much about the regular expression because there's a lot of tutorial about it. So I will kindly ask people who doesn't know about regular expression, but I will just talk about the basis. People who doesn't know about the regular expression to look to, I won't say look because I haven't dropped any video about it, but to check online and have more details about it. So right after that function, we are going to set now our function validation. So we are going to put function validation. So that function. So inside that function, what are we going to have? We are going to now to set our regular expression inside that function. So to do that regular expression, we'll be having here, the first thing we are going to set, as I told you, if you don't know about the regular expression, I will give you the basis, but I won't get into the details too much. So that is it. So the let's say I'll just put let name. Oh, not there. Why? I put let name press equal. So we put in between, the regular expression has to be in between the two elements like this. 1 minute, like this, and we'll be having a plus sign dollars at the end. So in the middle you'll be having an arrow, and I will explain to you what is inside the arrow. So inside the arrow we just put a minus z, a minus z. So what it means, like basically what inside the arrow is there could be any alphabet, small or big, and could be any number of that alphabet. So that inside that, if we can have any alphabet and also the number attached to that alphabet. So that is it. And we are going to the next one. So as I told you, it could be any alphabet, small or big, and it could also be any number of that alphabet. So now we are going to set the next regular expression, which will be let email rex equal. We are going to do the same. So we are going to put it between those two elements, and we are going to add our, so let me see, our dollar sign at the end. So that is it. So we also put an arrow, sorry, and that arrow will be having almost the same thing, 1 minus z, and z0 minus 9, and we'll be giving, now we'll be attaching to it our links. We do plus, and we do we'll be giving our links to it as I said it. So that is it. I will explain everything to you right now, so I will just type it, and when I finish I will give the explanation to it. So 1 minute, Outlook, and right after the Outlook, so let me see, yes, it will be closed, and we'll be putting outside another .com. So that is it, guys. That is our regular expression. So the email regular expression is made of many parts. As you can see, the first is there could be any alphabet or number, you can see, and the plus sign means that you can add any number of that alphabet. So you can see that in our first part, and inside our first part is made of any part. How can I say, it could be any alphabet, as we said it at the first time, and this alphabet also can have any number of that alphabet. So right after that, we could have also the symbol art. Simply means that it can be a specific character. So that is it. You can see that after that we have our link attached to it. So basically that is it. So for, I can see that the explanation for it will be more when you will get on the rec. I think they have a website. They have a website for it, that regular expression, that you can learn further of it. So we are going to do the same thing for the last one too. So if my explanation doesn't satisfy you, you can go to the rec function, because I learned from there, so you can get there and get more information of it. So we do the last one and move on, because our topic is not about regular expression, but we need it to perform the work we want to do. So we apply almost the same thing, the same process. So so inside we'll be having the same thing, minus a minus that a is like this, minus z0 minus 9. So I have forgotten something at the first regular expression. We're supposed to have s, no, not s at the end. Okay, that is it. And let me see. And also here we'll be having a curly bracket which will be specified 5. It shouldn't be more than 5 element 5. It should be 5 or more. So that is it. And right after that, after setting our regular expression, we are going now to set a if condition. The if condition, as you know how if condition, for those people who have more experience on it, you just check the condition. So we are going to check if the regular expression which has been set is we'll be using our first function is empty or space function to check if our regular expression which has been set inside our input box have a space or if it's empty. If you have a space or is empty, we'll be returning that you cannot leave any further empty. So it's basically what you are going to do. So we are going just to do like this. We just put if is empty or space, we'll be putting name dot value. Name is grabbing. We can see that from at the top here we have set constant name. That constant name is grabbing the value inside our name, our input name. So we have to add value to it to get that value. So that is what we are going to do. We are doing. So inside, right after we put our or operator, and we'll be applying the same thing is empty, and we do the same thing to the email. Our email dot value, and we do the same thing also again. To is empty to our username, user value. So username dot value, and then we'll be having the last one, which will be the password. So we'll be having is okay. So we'll be having, let's bring here is, and you'll be applying the same thing to the pass dot value. So basically the is empty function will just be checking if what has been entered inside our input section respect the function we have set at the top, which is empty, that is empty or there's space, or there is any regular expression inside. So that is it. So what you are going to do right after that, we are going to set if is the case. If that is the case, we are going to have alert. It we just said you cannot left any further empty, and you will just stop the function from there. The function won't go further. So that is it. So right after that, we'll be using now another if condition for our rest, for our regular expression. So we'll be using rest name does test method apply to our name value dot So, and this, if this condition is respected, it will give us an alert, which will be the name should only contain alphabets. So that is it, and the function should end, shouldn't return anything, it will be return false. So that is it, and we are going to do the same thing for the remaining one too. So for that, I think we just copy and paste and just change the element inside. So I think copy, paste. So here we'll be having what? We'll be just changing the email value, and here we'll be changing also the enter valid email. We'll be changing here, so it will be enter valid email. So we copy again for the last one. I have forgotten something here. I have to change the name to email, and here too it will be user, and here too it will be username value, and here we'll just put this test use only. Copy. Use only the alphanumeric is alphanumeric. Alphanumeric and user numbers are still be 5 characters. These are not content space. So that is it basically. So what we are going to do now, the next thing we are going to register user inside our firebase. So if all these conditions are not respected for the it, the function should continue on. So you just put return true. But if one of the conditions has been respected, the function should stop. So if you can get it, we are using our rest. The rest we have set here applied to a test method, and which will be applied also to our name.value. And if our name.value respects all the rest structure we have give, it will return only it will go on. But if it exists, it should just stop the function. So that is it. So now we are going to do what? We are going to our register section. So we are going to set a register section. User to the firebase. We are going to set all our data to the firebase now. So that is where you have to pay attention. 1 minute. I think I'm doing a mistake. Let me put it like this. Okay, so that is where we are going, the real work will start. So first thing we are going to do, we are going to set a function, and that function will be having a function which will be register user. So that function will be basically we'll be putting if condition so that it can verify if the condition is true. If the condition is true, the validation of this, carry on. It means like the function should continue operating, like the function to continue. Like if the validation doesn't exist, the function should stop. So that basically that is it. And we just now put a cons and give a db reference, which will be equal to the reference from the database, and having the argument at db. So that is it. And the next thing we are going to do, we do get child, and that get child will be having a db ref, yes, db ref as an argument. And we'll be having another argument. This one will be the folder in which we save all our data. So that a folder will be user list. So the user list will be adding our user name dot value. So that is it. And we'll be having a then promise, which will be having a parameter, which is we'll be setting inside our then promise a function, which will be having a snapshot, shot. So those people who doesn't know about snapshot, you can go to the documentation of Firebase. You will get more information about it, but you just basically help us to know where we are going to save, to get a reference from the database and get an element to check an element from the database. Is what our snapshot will do. It just locates, is kind of location to get to get a specific location inside our database. So the snapshot, we are going to use it to check if that snapshot exists, which is the location, a specific location of database exists. Carry on. Just from there, just set alert towards that. Alert, put an alert and set account already exists. So you just check if we are having a name like this already. If you are having a name like the one we are going to save again, if that name exists already, it will just say that this account exists already. So that is account already exists. So if not, if that account doesn't exist, set the new data inside the database by using the set function, which is the method, and we'll be using the ref method too, which will be having an argument of db, and also the same user list. We'll be putting user list, and we'll be adding inside that user list, because the user list will be the folder which will be having the user name dot value, and that is, we set now the value we are going to set inside the database. So the full name, you will be putting full name, which will be the title, full name, and we'll be having a name value dot value, and the next one will be the email, which will be having email dot value, and you'll be having a password, and which will be holding a pass dot value. So that is it. And right after that, we'll be having our then, always be having our then dot then, and our then promise will return us if there is any error, it will return the error to us, or rather it will return an alert to us to say if if the function has been well carried on. It will return an alert to us. If not, we'll be having a catch error, which will display us the error, will give us the error. So for the then, it will just return this, which will be user add successfully. So right after that, we'll be having our catch. In that catch, we'll be having the error as a parameter, and the function will be alert the error word plus the error. So that is it. So guys, basically that is it. So we are going now to check if we have respect everything inside our module type module. So before to do that, we just set our assign event to it. So to do that, we just go down, so here we just set our, we just put assign event, and we just use submit dot add event listener, and we'll be having click, and we'll put in the register user. So that is it, guys. So let's see how it works now. So let's go to and put any name, Joseph, and we put the email Joseph, and we put the gmail.com, and just put, we just do Joseph 1, and the password will be let's see, it will be Joseph 2. We'll put the password Joseph 123. So let's see how it works. So we are not getting any alert. So let's inspect. Let's see, maybe if we are having, we are having a challenge with our regular expression. So let's quickly go and check what is going on with the regular expression. So guys, there are a few changes we made because we are counting some mistake inside the code. So the first thing we are going to do, we have to set a constant db to get the database. I haven't done it, so we have to set a constant db and get the database. And we are, after run, we go into our res. We can see that inside our res user res, the z was uppercase. It's supposed to be lowercase, and I have put a 0 inside the curly bracket. It's not supposed to be, we are not supposed to have 0 there. Nothing supposed to be. After the 5, you are having comma n. There's nothing there. So I think that's all. For the changes for now. So before to test again, we have to go to our Firebase, and we are going to create. So let's go to where Firebase. So now we are going to create the Firebase. So we click on create of the Firebase, and we will be selecting any of them. Just take Singapore and you select it, and you just leave it on, just take a test mode, and you just use it. And let's so that is it. Our Firebase has been set. So let's check one again to see if we will be accounting the same problem. So guys, you will notice now that we have added to our configuration here a database URL, because when we were trying to log, they were asking that we should check. The Firebase was telling us we should check the URL we are sending our data to. So we have added a database URL. So that is the link to our database. So that link, I think it will be provided to you when you are in the database. So right after creating the database, 1 minute. Right after creating the database, that is or here too, you can just press copy. I think you can click on it, and you have it. So you can just try and copy. You copy, and you come to your database here, and you copy, you paste it, the same thing. And we have put it there already, so you can see that the same thing. So you just go to your you just go to your database after creating your real database. You copy the link here, the reference, copy reference link here. You just press, you copy it, and you just go back to your database, and you paste it here. You just create database URL and you paste it here. It's exactly the same thing. You can check again, so you can check the way it look like, and you can check here is exactly the same thing. So that is it. And after that, we just have make some mistake again. You are human being. I want us to go fast, so that is it. So you can see that our snapshot, I have written here. If you check, you follow me, it's supposed to be snapshot. Not, I have written something else, I remember. And also the value here is supposed to be value. I have written 2A there, so you just remove one, so it's supposed to be value. So now let's go and check how it works. So let's go to our register, close. So let's just create Joseph, email Joseph @.com, and we just put Joseph 1 here, and we put our Joseph 1, 2, 3. So that is it, and we just click our sign up to see how. So you can see now you have our message, which is user add successfully. So we just click OK, and now we can go back to our database. So okay, our database. So we can see here that you have a user Joseph, which is the user Joseph1, and you have the details for Joseph. You have his full name, you have the password, and we have the email address. So that is it, guys. So that's all for today. So the next things we are going to do now, let's check our, we are going now to do our first page. We have the second page, which will be the login. So that is what we are going to do the next time. So thanks, guys, and bye.